know the drill. It's praise time. So I have a lot of praise to dish. I mean, it's hard not to dish praise to YGG with all the magic that he's been making in the parameter side, especially, and Jake's help as well. I don't know. I hope YGG has some other people to praise, but it looks like he's just carrying this, fighting technocracy all on his own. So it's huge, amazing work. I also want to just praise to Santi and Mateo for the source cred work. It's super cool and making a lot of progress. I'm very excited to see that start getting sorted out. And I want to praise the Gabby and Sam and Fabi and Paulo and the whole Garden Swarm, Fiore and man, I don't know. There's others, but the whole Garden Swarm team for rallying around this last push to get the hash contracts frozen and change the. I want to just praise to Jake for the new Impact Hours token, which is super cool that he's maintaining, so that we can all vote on the token parameterization for the hatch. And man, there's so much praise. Oh, I want to praise Jess for the awesome article that just got out. Super cool. The TEC, the Y, really nice. It's very excited about that. And I'll stop. And I'll pass it to Jess.
Okay, man, I feel the same. So much praise to dish. I'm praising Zargum, who's never here but always present, for catalyzing work on NFTs. It's gonna be amazing for the whole space. I want to praise Tamara for continuing to be Ganesha and unblocking the blockers. I would like to praise Swan for gravity. I'm so excited for today's class. I've been studying up and already trying to start using the new Metaverde, who came in hot to volunteer and just be like an amazing supportive presence in all the meetings. Dishing praise to Santi, who is supporting now many people with the source code implementation, and Mateo as well, because all their hard work is also going to be rippling to like bring this value to others. Zepti, Sam, I'm just going to praise everybody on this whole call. And Jake, thank you so much for all of your support last week. I super appreciate it. And I'm going to pass to Fabian.
Hey, well, this time I would like to praise Chui, that he's doing a great job on the Garden Swarm communication between OneHub and us. So yeah, that's my praise for today. I'm going to pass it to Santi.
Thank you. I want to praise Metaverde for joining us and starting helping with the Discord channel that we need to set up pretty soon. And I also want to praise Zeptimus and Ivy for joining us tomorrow on the legal working group. We're going to discuss the meeting terms, and praise all the new people joining this week, which have been quite a few. And also Josh for coming today and talking to us about his project, Govbase. And I'll pass it back to Griff.
Griff, you there?
Or just YGG, just go ahead.
Sure. Thanks, Santi. Yeah, awesome work on the source cred, you and Mateo. I'm really excited. I've been wanting to dip my fingers into that too, but just been busy with too many other things. So I want to praise Livy today for, I think she's the first person she probably doesn't remember, but I think she's the first person I chatted with in the TEC. And she's just always been here, and she's such a grounding force, always like smiley and happy to help with everything. So praise to Livy. I also want to praise Sam, because I asked for his help on a project this past week, and I know he's like always insanely busy, but he jumped right in, and he's actually been leading the project, and he's like got all this cool research done. So I'm just blown away. So thank you, Sam, for that. And yeah, I'll pass over to Josh.
Hey, yeah, I guess I'd like to give praise to. I didn't know we could give praise to people who are not here, so yeah, I'd love to get some praise to Zargum, who kind of wrote me into the community and has been an awesome kind of mentor in as I explore the DAO universe. And yeah, props to Santi, who's kind of been shepherding me through this, and I look forward to talking about Govbase to you guys later today. I guess I'm not sure who hasn't gone. Maybe Juan K. Bell.
Thank you, Josh. This week, I would like to praise Tam because she's been working on the Stewards really hard, and this praise is also a forgive me because I've been having trouble with that schedule, but I am keeping up, and I will improve that. And I also want to praise Septimus and Ivy because I love their idea on the audits, the working groups, and I think it's going to be amazing to put it in practice. And I will pass to Mateo.
Hey guys, I hope you had an amazing week and wish you a really great weekend. No, I don't have one special to praise, but I want to praise all the stewards because I know all the effort and responsibilities that they have, and I really like their job and what is being done so far in the TEC. I can't wait to see what's going to happen the rest of the year, and I think that's mainly because of the work of the stewards. So praise to all of you guys. I'm not sure who hasn't gone. Maybe Chris.
Hey everybody. Yeah, I'm just listening in here. I haven't been as active with the TE directly, so I'm just really tuning in to see what's going on with everybody else. I've been working on the Discord mostly, getting the praise button things all ready in the TEC server prior to launch. And yeah, I've been meaning to do a little more work on the forum, but I haven't had a chance to really dig in and get that the emails sending out and that kind of thing. But that is basically my next thing. So I will pass. Yeah, I'll pass back to Griff. I'm not sure if anyone hasn't gone yet today.
Yeah, no problem. How about Chris Sue? Are you there, Chris? Oh, you were unmuted for a second, but I don't think we could hear you. Does anyone else hear Chris? No? Okay, then let's pass it to Jake.
Hi. You wait. Okay. I'd like to dish praise to Wesley. He's not here, but he whipped out token log all by himself and got it ready. He asked for help. We tried to get him some, and he still did it all by himself. Really quickly. I will tickle you in a second. You give me that. Okay. I'd also like to just praise to YGG because it's just what we have to do these days. I don't think we can do it enough. He's probably going to catch Sim, so you better watch out, Simmy. What else can we do? I'd like to just praise for Jessica for sticking with it and getting a lot. Yes, you give me that. I'd like to just praise to Jessica for keeping her head down and getting after it and still creating some awesome content. Yeah, I see. You okay? Yeah. Okay. I'm like really doing bad at this. You have to stop that. Okay. I'd like to dish praise to I'm gonna dish praise to Chris for coming in here and telling everybody how busy he's been, because I know he has, because I've been bothering him about the forum like every other day. Anyways, what's up, dude? Oh God, there's always so many. I'd like to. Oh yeah, I dish praise to Santi and Matteo too for that's a lot to do with source cred, and thank you. You. Okay, I gotta go. You guys, I'm gonna pass it off to. I don't know who. I'll pass it back to Griff.
Let's go to Heater. Hey, Heater. Wow, is Discord really having these problems today? Does anyone else hear Heater? No? Okay. Then let's go to, so Heater and Chris, if you guys can test out your mic, it's okay to just interrupt and say, I got it, or something. Totally cool. Let's go to Livia.
Hey, I feel like I have a lot of praise to dish today too. I want to start with Zaptimus and Ivy because it's really incredible the work they're doing with transparency, and it went so beyond the scope. Like they're really getting so many ideas and so much things flowing that connect a lot of the working groups. And I also want to dish praise to Juanca and for all of the work he's doing in the unseen for this training to happen. And I want to dish praise to Jess for focusing this week and working so much on writing and on spinning this awesome research groups. Also for Zargam for spinning the same research group on knowledge, on tokenizing knowledge that I think will be so important for us. I also want to dish praise to Eduardo because he's always so focused and it's great to come to his calls. And I want to dish praise to Jake for being like a machine and picking things up and just making it happen really quick. And I want to dish praise to Tam because she's so wise and we always have amazing conversations, and it's really great the ideas that come up from our exchanges. And I'll pass to Eduardo.
Hello, everyone. Sorry to be late. I wanna dish praise to Jessica and Griff for taking time for themselves and to do the things that they needed or they feel they needed to do. I feel it's also important for everyone to take time for themselves and to put aside things that could be distractions or things that are also relevant for them, like writing for Jess. I want to dish praise to Tam for always keep us focused and to help us see the light at the end of the tunnel in every meeting. I want to dish praise to Metaverde for her enthusiasm and in every call that we are together. She's always keen to learn and to know more and to help us, and that's really valuable. I want to dish praise to Chris for her back-end work behind the scenes for all the things that he's working on. I want to dish praise to Livy for the bot didn't allow me to dish this praise on Telegram, so I will do it here. But it's basically for her work on the forum and having everything tidy and organized. I think it's an amazing work. And lastly, to Septimus for always being there in the calls, recording and being present, and for he's always on time and he's always talking to Spanish to me, which is highly appreciated. So I don't know who hasn't gone because I just got into the call. So I will pass it back to Tam so she can redirect it to someone who hasn't gone.
I might have gotten my mic working. Can you guys hear me? Yeah? Awesome.
Cool. Either why don't you go?
Yeah, I can jump in. Cool. This is actually my first Commons meeting, so thanks for having me. And really cool that you can just kind of jump in, and I haven't really met anyone yet, but my name's Peter, and I've just been kind of like browsing around the Discord so far, And I guess I'll dish praise to anybody who's like sort of written documentation that's been posted about the Commons, because I've been reading a lot of that, and it all sounds super interesting, and I'm really excited to get more involved. I've been learning a little bit of CAD too, so I'll probably jump into some of the lab sessions coming up. So yeah, also I guess praise to anybody who's posting links in like the philosophy channel. I think I've read a few of those that were quite interesting. So hopefully you guys will see me around more if I'm doing this right. And yeah, I'll pass it off to anyone who hasn't gone yet.
Yeah, let's sling it over to Tam. Thanks, Heater, for jumping in.
Yeah, thanks, Heater, and welcome. Wow, I also think I have a lot of praise today. I think that's the general feeling. So, but I'm going to try to make it quick. Just the tremendous effort that happens in the background with the community stewards is something to behold. So, praise to Livia and Jess and Jake and Santi and Sam and Juan Carlos and Zeptimus and Eduardo and Craig and Sebnum and all of Ivy's support. And preemptive praise to all of the stewards who will be coming and joining us, because it seems like we're at the beginning of our journey now. I'd like to give special praise to Marco, the Samurai Shark, for his really tackling, supporting comms. It's been excellent to see. He's a monster. And a special shout out to Metaverde, because you're always showing up and volunteering to own the migration to the new TEC Discord server. It was a huge help. So thanks for taking ownership of that. To YGG and Carlos, the education that you're providing to this community is invaluable. Thank you so much for doing that. I mean, it's an hour a week or 2 hours a week, but many hours go into each of those 1 hours, and it's visible in the high quality that you guys are producing. And then to turn a little towards Common Stack and the Trusted Seed and the Swiss Association DApp. Praise to Griff and Amin and Kai and Sponit and Kat for getting that into its initial phase, and for letting the first few people join the Swiss Association. And Griff, I'll pass it back to you.
Oh no, our secret's out. The Swiss is happening. Still user testing. Anyway, I'll pass it to Zeptimus.
Thanks, Griff. Wow, I feel like the same of all. Like there is a lot of praise to give, and I'll start with Sam, Jake, Griff, and YGG for trying to make all the community understand all the parameters and working so hard on that. And then on the other side, I wanted to praise Jess, Livy, Juan, Santi, and Eduardo for building this trust and making this community a whole, and that's awesome. And then I also want to praise Tam and Ivy, because all the support we are having from there is amazing. And I'll pass it to Sam.
Hey, I would like to praise again Juanca and Durgadas for the last week training. It was amazing. And also YGG, because he is not only doing trainings in TEC, but also in One Hive, and he's kind of spreading the word on conviction voting and doing very cool simulations and education for everyone. So I think that those are the two things that I would like to praise. And I pass it back to I pass it back to Griff. You know.
I thought you were going to gamble. Metaverde, you still need to go, right?
I wrote this down. Okay, so I would like to praise Jake for always coming in with a lot of energy, and he's not here. Oh yeah, he is. I really love that Jake. I really love that you're always paying attention to your kids, and you're never shooing them away. And I think that you're modeling just really amazing parenting, and I really appreciate seeing that. I'd like to praise Marco for reaching out to me consistently about the Discord migration, and asking like questions about things that I wouldn't have thought about. That's helping me to like frame it. And he set up a meeting with me for tomorrow to walk me through the Zen Hub, and that's going to be really super helpful. I couldn't think of how to put this into words, so hopefully this is a acceptable form, and I'll try not to do this in the future. I'd like to praise Jess for being Jess, if that makes sense. I think it does. I'd like to praise Tam and Livy for their keeping meetings on track and running meetings, and especially Livy, because I know that I was really reactive when we were talking about accountability and consequences, and I actually talked to my counselor about that. So we're going to go to 2 meetings a week, which is really awesome. But thank you, Livy, for listening and understanding what I was doing with that. So on that vein, I would like to praise Durgadas for also responding positively to my reaction to accountability and consequences. I'd like to praise YGG for the lab that I went to last week, and I don't know what else you're doing, YGG, or I would praise you for that. And I know, as I've taught, so I understand what goes into preparing lessons. And so, and I get this, not really a lesson, but whatever it is, I understand that there's, like for every hour that you're like in presentation with somebody, there's easily 3 hours of preparation. Whether you count it as 3 hours or not, there's easily been 3 hours of preparation. I know this. I'd like to praise Chris for doing his work on the Discord and being reassuring to everybody that yes, it's Discord, it's okay, we can do it. We got this under control. I'd like to praise Juan for the gravity. I have actually been learning nonviolent communication is something that's been on my short list for actually literally more than 2 years, not making this up. And it's something that I've kind of nibbled into. And when I saw the gravity training, that was just really completely exactly what I needed. And it came at exactly the right time. And it's something I can get to. And I really, really appreciate that. I would like to praise Santi for doing the data analysis class. And I understand that there's just an overwhelming amount of material that needs to go into it, and it's very difficult to teach to all levels. I completely get that. And if I seem short in class, that's not me trying to be short. That's me just going, no, I'm not keeping up. Help me. And so Santi, we really do appreciate you doing that a lot. And I'm learning to communicate better. I'd like to praise Griff, Sam, and Chewy, and I don't see Chewy here. I hit him with the DM, but he's probably busy. Griff, Sam, and Chewy, especially for your interaction on the One Hive discourse, because I feel like, for as sensitive as I am, you'd think I'd be nicer when I talk. Because I'd really like to praise your interaction on the One Hive discourse, because I feel like things could have really gone sideways there, and and I'm sure that there are other people from TEC who have also responded. I don't have time to read everything, and I'm trying to get there. But I really feel like you're doing a lot to help keep things on a positive track. And, I see Durgadas here, and I don't think he's gone. Am I right? So that's who I'm passing it to.
Okay. So I guess we're starting with praise because I didn't see the beginning of this. So I'd like to praise ever-present Griff and Jessica, and Livy. Those guys seem to be everywhere. And Juan, as always, for the sort of ongoing excellent relationship we're having around the gravity stuff, which is paying off in a lot of different ways that you guys might not even be aware of. As always, Yggdrasil Anderson here, who seems to have his roots in everything, tech and in many other places. And that's all. Is that Fabian here, or is that just somebody else? Oh, anyway, so that's it for me. I don't know who's gone, so please. Somebody.
No problem. I believe Craig still has to.
Hi, everybody. Do like a general praise for sort of all the internal partnerships that I see happening and all the work getting done in small groups. And I could look around the screen and start naming them off. But like it's just really cool to see these sort of sub pods developing and reaching out and growing. Meanwhile, everyone's already overworked and overloaded and overcommitted. So yeah, that's just been cool to be a part of and to sort of witness. Nobody's going to get any praise for that because I didn't name anybody, but kudos to all of you.
Thanks, Craig. And now, just to give Chris Sue a chance, if you got your mic working, Chris.
Hey guys, can you hear me now? Finally. So I'm a new part in the community. I learned about you from the Gravity seminar that you did. So I'm here to learn a bit more. I read your documents and I really like your way of thinking. So yeah, I don't have to give praise to anyone, but I'm here to learn. And thank you very much for doing that.
Oh no, Griff is gone. Oh, back.
Sorry about that, guys. What a great praise session. I'm going to cheat and dish extra praise to Ivy. She's going to write down all those praises in Telegram. Seriously, Ivy, thank you so much. It's huge. So major praise to you, Ivy. Okay, so as always, this call is being recorded, and I will be facilitating. Wonka will be moderating, and Livia or somebody usually posts the notes in TEC General. So please check out the notes so you can follow along. I'm going to try to share a screen. We'll see if it boots me again, but hopefully not. Oh yeah, I'm still here. Okay. So yeah, thank you for enjoying our praise. We spend half this call in the gratitude sesh, and it just feels really good every time, and it's worth it every time. So thank you guys for joining that. If you want to make it really easy for Ivy and everyone to dish you praise, we have this praise channel in Telegram, TE Praise. Eventually, we're going to move praise to Discord, but we have probably another month for that. So please consider joining the TE Praise channel and making it really easy for us to dish you praise. Also, we have this really cool Airtable, which tracks everyone's preferred language, and really it's a community networking place where we can find out all the other people that, who knows, they may be in your city. You could meet up, you know, if a restaurant is open, you could go there. It'd be cool. So check out the Airtable. And then we have the TE community calendar. This is critical. The TE community calendar is blowing up. There's like 4 hours of things every day. So if you want to get into token engineering, you want to add this to your Google Calendar and check out everything. Just for the new people, the purpose of this call is really to show off all the work that has been done for the week. And it's not really to discuss proposals or brainstorm improvements. We usually leave a lot of that content for the forum. But if you do have any feedback on anything, feel free to jump into this TEC call agenda and notes document and just write something in. It's very rare that I get to see anybody writing anything here, but it'd really make my day if I reviewed this and someone said something. That'd be cool. So yeah, GitHub project management. We manage all of our work on this ZenHub board. We've had a ZenHub revolution thanks to Tamara. It's been really awesome, and we are tracking all of our work. If you want to see the high-level overview, we also have this Miro board where you can see kind of like the plan till launch, till we hatch this bad boy. And so far, we're doing pretty well at sticking to it. So with all of that introduction, I will pass it off to Santi to talk about the legal working group.
Thank you, Dave. I'm just going to go real fast. We've been ending the document for the hatching. We need to jump into the hatching phase. And on the terms for the meeting attendance, we're going to be joined by and I'll back to you, Griff.
Thanks, Santi. Was Santi breaking up for anybody else?
Yeah. A lot. I didn't hear.
Sorry about that, Santi. Maybe I'll just review it. We have just so you guys know, there's a legal working group call Friday at 4 p.m. Barcelona time. Please join us. It's really fun. We're going over all the terms and conditions from a legal perspective. Make sure that we're all protected. So it's a really important piece of the puzzle. And if you have any joy out of looking at these kinds of documents, oh my God, we need you. So please join the call on Friday, tomorrow. And with that, I'll pass it to Juan from Gravity.
Thank you, Griff. Today we are having our working group session, our training after this call, and we are going to be discussing 3 main topics that are conflict transformation, anti-fragility, and a transcend method to understand conflict. So if you want to learn more about conflict, please join our call. We are also giving POAPs. So to get the POAP, you have to fill the training answer type form that is linked in there, and it's also linked in the channel. And you will get a password that should be DM'd to the POAP bot in order to get your token. I would really appreciate all people joining this session because I have prepared it a lot, and I am going to give my best. And I also made a new post. I would love to receive feedback and to know what you think on the forum that is related to the scale of conflict and graduated sanctions. That is like a guideline of what can happen and some reasonable actions to manage these issues. And with that, I pass back to Griff.
And I'll pass it to Eduardo for onboarding. You want to give us an update?
Yes. Hello, everyone. First of all, to new people in the call, welcome to the community call. Before we get into onboarding working group, if you need or you have any doubt regarding onboarding or want more information, you can reach out to me for having a brief call. You have any questions or any doubts regarding the TEC. So regarding the onboarding working group, this week we have an update on continuing onboarding hatchers and proposals. On the main side, we are onboarding ourselves as the next step for getting us into the hatcher or being a hatcher, and to also get soft commitments out of people of our own community. If you want to know more about this, you can hit me up also to have more information about what it is about. It's a nice experience. We get to know more about each other. We get to know about projects and what we're working on. So it's a really nice method that it's that Tam and Jake are leading on. So that's really cool. And that's it. It's a very brief summary for today. So I will pass it on to Livy.
Thanks, Eduardo. So for who's new in this call, the soft governance working group is implementing Ostrom's principles into the TEC. And we are reading Governing the Commons, that is Ostrom's book that talks about these principles. Next Tuesday is our last session of the book club. So this is awesome. We're almost done. We had a lot of great insights coming from it that we are working on with the community. And then last call, we talked about mutual accountability. So if you click there where it says mutual accountability, you can see the agenda of the call. If you have any ideas about mutual accountability methods and you want to post in there, I'll be revising that and creating a forum post about it so we continue the conversation. And also, we're working on the code of conduct. That is like moving forward, and it's showing the rules and boundaries of our community. And tomorrow at 3 p.m. CET, we'll have a hack session. So Yeah, hopefully you guys can join. You don't need to have come previously to join. If you're curious about our rules and boundaries, that sounds very exciting, I know. You can join us and we'll move forward on that. Last thing is we're gonna have a weekly welcome to the TEC party now every Wednesday at let me check 1 second, at 4 p.m. Europe time. So if you're new to the community, you can join us. If you know someone that would like to know the TEC and they're like, oh, where do I start? Send them to this party and we'll move forward from there. And I'll pass to Tam with Community Stewards.
Hey, so Community Stewards, I wanted just to explain what we do every week and then invite people to join our call. The Community Stewards meet every week at Wednesday at 7 p.m. and we take care of the community and we get things done. And we started starting this week with a temperature check to see how our community is doing and raise any concerns that the stewards want to address as a group. And we're also putting in the foundation in place to get ready to sort of scale as we're expecting a lot more interest in people to join our community. We review our sprint board and there's a link here in our notes to the sprint number 2, which is our second sprint, which will end on February 4th. We review to see if there's any blockers or any issues that we need to take on and do some updates from each of the community stewards groups. And this week, our manifesto, I also linked in this doc. And this week, we tackled the existential question of what does it mean to be a TEC steward? And we're starting to talk about what our roles and responsibilities are. And if you want to come and join in those calls, again, you can find us on Discord Wednesdays at 7 p.m. And that's it. I'm going to pass to Jessica for comms.
Everybody, for the sake of time today, I'm just going to share one thing, the latest article. That way we can give more time to Govbase to make sure they have enough time to present. So just released today a piece on why we're here and our shared purpose and the mission that's driving us. So we're at kind of an interesting point in time. We had our official kickoff in September, but have been building a lot longer. So now, we're approaching the hatch and leading up to it, just aligning again around our mission. So it's called Towards Robust and Resilient Economies and Communities, Why We Need a Token Engineering Commons. So if you have a chance to check that out today, and if you haven't already, and you want to stay up to date for the hatch, follow Twitter and Medium, because we're going to have a lot more content and information coming out soon on how to take part in the hatch. So with that being said, I will pass to TEC Paramms and the Garden Swarm.
Hi, everybody. Okay, well, we had a lot going on. So there's we have our spec for the test hatch out in full. And that's at the forum. We also have a great article on token log at the forum and a proposal on how we want to streamline the DAO. And those are all there for you to check out, and I greatly encourage you to do so. We're also, again, meeting every Wednesday to go over all of this information and make you, well, at least help you understand it better so you can participate. The Sunday hack sessions are on again as well. And that's going to be really important moving forward for everyone because, like the last time, you get to be a part of this. You come to these and you get to submit posts and articles for our forum on what we are doing with the tech params. So not only do you get to help educate others, you get to learn for yourself. And in this next step with the second part, it's going to be big because we're moving into the bonding curve. Along with those Wednesday calls, they're a great precursor to YGG's lab sessions that are happening every Friday. So you just keep getting params and params and params. And this is really fun, and we have lots of fun. And we have impact hour tokens we are minting, This is super cool. I'm going to share my screen. I hope this works. Can I get a thumbs up? Are we there? Good? No, nothing? No, okay, good. All right, everybody, check this out. So this is our, look at this. We got all kinds of impact hour tokens. Here we go. IHT. This is us. This is our total supply right now. And I think that's really cool because thinking about YGG's models, we are on pace. We're right there. And it's going to be it's not speculative at all because we're using math. We're awesome. And we're going to be right there, I think. 6,000 isn't really too out of the question. So keep giving praise, everybody. We're doing it. This is super cool. Oh, and like I was telling Ivy last night, and she is awesome. I didn't get to dish praise to Ivy. You're awesome. I mint tokens. I am like the praise central bank of impact. Jacob Kasani. Yes. I am machine goes brr for impact hour. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, thank you. Okay, let's get back to the notes. All right. We got a hatch voting demo out that you can do that at it's super sick. You can use your impact hour tokens right now. It's on the XDAI chain. It's quadriatic. So if you really like the vote and there's already 5 votes, then it's going to take you 25 votes to continue to pass that. It's super cool. You can use it. I'm going to have my next session this coming Wednesday is all about token logs. So please come. Wesley is the man. And don't forget to try and get to lab sessions. They are on YouTube. Thank you, Zep. And thank you, YGG. And you can check those out and get more in the norm. With that, I'm going to pass it off to Sim. With is it still? We got Gardens TEC now, don't we? No. Okay.
Hello. Well, regarding this week, we have been we continue with the programming on the smart contracts. We have been re-implementing the Impact Hours smart contract with the new token because it was not working at the first time, so we decided just to re-implement it and do the tests. And we are also working with the Celeste Swarm. And one of the things that it's going to be quite cool is that we did that a forum post in which we are asking the community if that will be nice for TC to use Celeste or not. It's something that from a technical perspective will have a lot of sense, but it's also kind of a political question. So the first step is to understand which are the implications on using something that a subjective oracle such as Celeste. And this is why we are going to have an AMA in which we will have Luke and Will. And yeah, the first step will be to read the posts that are cross posted here in the forum, and I hope that we can solve all the questions regarding what will be using Celeste instead of a multisig in order to resolve any question regarding instead of having admins, we will have a whole community interpreting the community covenant that we will put on ourselves. And yeah, I'm quite excited about having that discussion. I think that it's going to be a bit difficult to understand at first, but this is why we are doing this AMA. And we still don't have a date for that, but it's going to be in 1 week or 2. So that's the update from our side. I think that I pass it back to Griff. Maybe you, Griff, you want to say something?
Yeah, well, we do have some post work. I would say the GovSwarm is also starting to get way more active in the OneHive community. So we moved our calls over to the OneHive Discord. So if you want to get involved in helping us freeze the hatch smart contracts, helping us improve the UIs, helping us do all the crazy things that we have on our GitHub board that we want to do, it might be harder to find our calls because we moved over to OneHive because they're paying the bills and we want to make sure they know what's going on too. So it's very nice to build this bridge with us and OneHive, and we're working really hard with Chewy, who is adding a lot of value in helping us communicate to the OneHive community and also improve our communications of what the GovSwarm is all about. The other big debate is if we should rename to Common Swarm or Swarm. That's one of the big things that we're talking about as a team right now, so that's pretty fun. And the other thing is that we do have an AMA on the GovSwarm, I believe scheduled for the 4th at 10, I believe at either 8 or 10 o'clock a.m. on Central Europe time. So I think that's as many updates as I can think of. So let's see, what else do we have on the agenda? Oh, of course, Zep, TEC Transparency. You want to take us home?
Yeah, thank you, Griff. This week on Transparency, we are finally will be posting the vote for the audit. So we would love the community support. And next week we are, well, I want to display to Santi because he had the amazing idea of the transparency document. And since we have more quorum in legal, then we are going to have a bit of brainstorming there. Then we are edit that document on transparency and then give it back to Santi. I think that's amazing. And yeah, I also wanted to encourage everyone who wants to help and volunteer for the recordings. There is the spreadsheet on the agenda, and everyone can add the name and yeah, and feel free to help us. That would be awesome. Yeah, that's all for me. I'll pass back to you, Griff.
Man, you guys are so organized. Thank you, Zep, for the transparency. Every call is recorded on our YouTube. If you guys miss anything, we're really setting new standards for transparency in the DAO space. It's really cool. Transparency audits on every working group. Though the stuff that I believe he got, Zep and Ivy got dish praise earlier, probably a couple times for their work. It's very impressive. But with that, we have our spotlight. So Govbase. Very excited to hear more about Govbase. I believe, Josh, are you the one presenting?
Can you guys hear me? I need
yeah.
Discord like to access the camera. Perfect. Hey y'all. So let me. Thanks for having me here. First off, really great to hang out and listen to all the praise being dished. Let me see if I can share my screen. Is this gonna? Okay. Hopefully this go live. Oh my gosh, so many options for screen sharing. All right, do y'all see this? It's the question of the year, essentially. All right, perfect. So Govbase, yeah. So about 10 minutes, or a little bit less than that, actually. So let me just go through this relatively quickly. So Govbase is, as far as we know, the most comprehensive database of projects and software in online governance today. That's what it is now. What we're hoping to do is build into something that's a lot more, and something that's more directly sort of useful and consumable by people in sort of lots of online communities, but especially in the kind of crypto/DAO space. So yeah, this is a project run by myself. I'm Josh, mathematician, computer scientist, and Zargum, who I suppose also what do you call himself, a computer scientist? He's basically become one, but I think he still thinks of himself as like working with robots. Yeah, and we're advised by a couple of like awesome people all around. Yeah, so Govbase, it's really straightforward introduction. Right now, it's a big old database. You can go on the Airtable, click around for yourself. I recommend just go to the article. So if you Google Medium Govbase, introducing Govbase, you'll see the Medium article. And it takes you through the basic structure and what's going on. Of course, there's a post, I believe, in the TE Commons forum. But a really quick overview, it's split into 3 main tables. There's a projects table that basically, this is really restricted towards software projects that have some sort of like use in online governance. So this is something you could sort of install in your community, something like SourceCred, for example, or Aragon, or of course, Facebook. Different kinds of platforms and services and libraries that are used in governance or used in sort of producing online communities. And of course, Discord is in there. So there's a couple of sort of basic ways that we sort of think about these things. They implement a certain kind of structure, and I'll talk about that later, but like what I mean by that is like a governance institutional structure. So if you're reading Governing the Commons right now, so Ostrom talks a lot about institutions and institutional arrangements, and that is exactly what we mean by structure. It's a governance, it's an institutional structure. Projects also are used by other projects, and they're used by different organizations, pretty clear sort of data points you want to keep track of. There's organizations. The goal here is not to capture all the online communities that exist in the world, but to just provide more context for the structures for the projects table. So organizations can, they might be DAOs, they might be for-profit companies. They own certain projects in the sense that they like sort of in charge of developing them or own the GitHub repo. And actually, so there's a giant list of kind of DAOs embedded into Govbase, which sits inside the organizations table. Okay, running low on time, so I'll skip over structures. There's lots of fun stuff on here, but essentially a list of every single, well, not every single, but like a lot of sort of concepts and structures from social science. It's not the most pleasant or easily consumable thing, which is why I'll tell you about some of the other views later that you can access. Actually, yeah, right here. So you'll be able to sort of, if you want something a little easier way of consuming Govbase, I recommend, so this list is online. You can sort of click through it, but it gives you a kind of easier introduction to like what exactly is going on in Govbase. So I'm going to skip all this stuff. This is more all the pretty graphs that Zargum produced for the project. And I'm also going to skip this because, yeah, who has time for social ontologies? This is more for like if you're really interested in understanding the sort of social science and exploring sort of different concepts, like if I want this democracy, or if I want to build, like I was talking with Economic Space Agency, they have lots of ideas around building sort of market-based protocols for governance. And for example, one of the things we're doing with them is to basically take the ontology with sort of the way they think about governance and insert it into Govbase as a form of social ontology, so that we can use their way of thinking in order to evaluate the actual governance of actual institutions. So it's sort of like enabling certain kinds of analytic workflows. But I won't go into that too much. I'll skip that too. Okay. The key thing, I guess, that we want to propose, and it's written up a little bit in the TE Commons in the discourse, is what we're calling the Registry of Computational Constitutions. It's a bit of a mouthful because I'm not the best person at coming up with names, but it is exactly what it is, what it says it is. It is a collection of computational constitutions. What is that exactly? So you kind of imagine a world, I'll just read it here, in which every online community, so things like DAOs, but also things like, online game guilds, for example, display a kind of standardized constitution that articulates the rights and responsibilities of users, pretty much like, every open source project has a standardized software license. So we want to take the idea of a governance constitution or a governance spec and sort of make it as easy as possible and as standardized as possible. So you can really not only sort of communicate in a kind of clean way to your user base or to your community, especially like, if it's a community-run project, but also a way to allow like easy import-export of different governance features across communities. That's the point of standardization. So, right, a publishing standard for computational constitutions, that's what we're kind of implementing as part of Govbase. So that would include things like, typical things that you might imagine, like a preamble or Bill of Rights. And this actually exists in various DAO constitutions today, but also qualified code deferrals and even raw code you want to sort of insert into these constitutions. And, I've been using the word constitution, like that might not be your preferred word of choice, but, just think of a constitution as a spec. And pretty much everyone agrees, like, if you're going to build anything on the blockchain, you're going to need to spec out what exactly is the system you want to build. And that's exactly what a constitution is. It just happens to be structured in certain ways to allow better communication to, let's say, like non-technical folks or people just like in the community that don't have the time to engage with all the sort of like diagrams that an engineer might build. So yeah, what is the difference exactly? It's like it's more consumable. And the key question for us right now is how to splice what we're calling policies, which are kind of configurations, more technical configurations. You can imagine like CAD/CAD policies, right? So I think this community is quite familiar with CAD/CAD. If you think of like a technical policy or configuration of some parameters of like how you're going to set up your bonding curve, like how exactly do I integrate that into a document that's actually like, you think like when you see a constitution. I've been calling this either Sphinx for community governance. If you know what Sphinx is, it's kind of like a tool for producing sort of documentation for open source projects. But you could also think of it as Crunchbase for online communities. I know time is very short, so I'm going to skip lots of things, but I want to give you a sense of like what that actually looks like. Wait, I have been sharing this entire time, right? You guys see what I'm seeing?
Yeah, we see your screen.
Okay. Okay, good. Because I'm just used to having a little green box that Zoom gives, and I just realized I don't see the green box. Okay. So just so you understand like what exactly I mean by registry computational constitutions, this is the Constitute project, which is a registry of all the national constitutions that have existed since 1789. It's a really spectacular resource run by a couple of people at UChicago and UT Austin. And what's spectacular about it is that it allows you, as I said, if only my computer, actually worked when I was doing a call, but you can click through, for example, like amendment, right? And you'll be able to select the constitution, let's say Algeria, and compare it to Albania. You'll be able to see exactly sort of like by side how Albania and Algeria compare when they think about like, this is how we think about amendments. And that's exactly kind of what we're trying to do, except for DAOs and DAO governance systems, to be able to compare things side by side, so you can easily learn and compare and export import. And in fact, this is already happening. So we are partnering with the Constitute project. We've given them a couple of DAO constitutions, and you'll be able to, in about, I would say 2 or 3 weeks, to literally go on to Constitute, or just ask me for the link, and compare side by side like the Constitution of Pocket Network with the Constitution of the United States, which is, to me, like pretty freaking awesome. Moving back, so that's just kind of like a brief UI. I'm going to skip all this sort of like.
I'll give you a 1 minute warning.
We have to go into the details. Yeah. So that's basically it. Very short introduction to Govbase. Read the Medium article. Take a look around. I'm always around to answer questions. And yeah, thanks to lots of people who have been helping out and contributing to Govbase.
Thank you so much, Josh. That is such a great introduction to Govbase. And I want to just second how important this kind of research and almost like a meta study of all of the work that's going on in this DAO space all in one place, the value that adds to everybody who wants to do this research is just incredible. So thank you so much for your efforts, and very excited. If you guys want to support Josh, definitely consider commenting on his forum post. He's proposed a request for funding from the Token Engineering Commons when we launch. So we welcome you to jump into the forum post and give him comments and share your thoughts there. And of course, if you know what's up, we have a gravity training happening right now in the Gravity TEC channel. So hop over there. Juan, do you have anything to say about that?
He's already there.
Yeah, he's already there.